Hey everyone, I'm Ana Guanes. I'm from K-State and I was working at Kalmar this summer. Um, wait. So if you guys don't know, Kalmar, they manufacture terminal tractors. They are located on Iowa, Kansas. Um, so yeah, it's really funny their design. It's not what you see on terminal tractors. They manufacture an average of 367 per month. Kalmar has a workforce of over 400 employees. Kalmar is part of Cargotec. Cargotec is really nice on all their sustainability goals. So at Kalmar, we are trying to reduce our emission by 50% by 2030. So this is the Kalmar site. Um, it's quite big. So just to explain, because on my presentation, I'm going to be talking about it. So we have the outside storage, the main assembly plant, parts and services, which is for customers to to buy more parts that they need. We have the test track where we test our cargo trucks. Then we have the rework tent or upfit building and our high up part. So this is the process of Kalmar's of assembly. I'm gonna explain because it's so long, but so we just assembly our terminal tractors. We get all their parts already painted and ready for assembly. So it's kind of easy and not at the same time because we have a lot of the steps. So for my P2 projects, I focus on light energy savings, water waste reduction, TV energy savings, returnable racks, and compressed air leak. So let's go into the light energy reduction. So Kalmar, they have been working on replacing our the fluorescent lights to LED already. They have been working for I think 2 years ago. They switched all the LED lights of their ceiling, which was super nice, but they didn't know where else they can replace the fluorescent lights. So I had to go by myself, try to see like which one is LED, which one is fluorescent, so I can give them the location so they can buy the replacements and switch them. Also, there were a lot of faulty sensors, like light sensors for outside area and also inside. So I recommend them to replace them, install new ones. So switching from fluorescent to LEDs. So as we know, LEDs, they consume way lower kilowatts per hour than fluorescent. I found out that Kalmar has over 200 lights that they still have to be replaced, which was surprising by my supervisor because she told that since maintenance told them that they would replace most of them, she was surprised that we still have so many that it needs to be replaced. So I provide a list with all the locations, and I also look for fixtures so they can just place an order and we can replace them. So for the faulty light sensors, lights were kept on 24/7 on the restroom and outside areas. So on the left side is the outside. We have around 50 lights outside that they were just on 24/7, even during the daylight. On the restroom, on the graph, so I used the occupancy sensor as we mentioned, and I figured out that the lights were kept on the restroom 24/7, even during the weekends. They are supposed to have the sensors in there so they can turn off, but they never did. So for the installing new sensors, they have that rework tent. This rework tent, it was built, I think, 3 years ago or 2 years ago for COVID because we were having problems with supply chain. Kalmar wasn't getting all the supplies to build completely the terminal tractors. So we have this tent to focus on that kind of work. So they just install this type of lights in there and they are on 24/7 as well. And they never put the light sensors because they thought, oh, this is going to be used for a while, so we don't need them, but now I recommend them. And also we have meeting rooms and print room on containers, which is super nice, but the lights are always on as well. So for this project, I found out that Kalmar can save $2,640 per year and 325,000 kilowatts per year. They will have a 3-year payback period and 20.6 greenhouse gas emission reduction, which is super nice. Discounts already workforce and all the installation that they have to buy. Next one, I have the water waste reduction, which I look onto toilet leaks, which is super fun, water saving restroom fixtures, and fire pump leak. So for the toilet leaks, so you just can see how important is to know, like, to find these toilet leaks. So two toilets that are leaking are wasting 45,260 gallons per water per year. And this I just found out on the women's restroom because I cannot be in the men's restroom all the time, of course. So just a recommendation, it's really important to tell their employees, hey, just let me know if you find a leak because it is important. And then, yeah, there were two defective toilets on the women's restroom. I'm not sure about the men, but I recommend them to look into the men's restrooms. And then just some installation I recommend them is to replace their faucets to 0.5 gallons faucets on their sink, on their toilets to be 1.1 gallons per flush toilet fixtures because they have in one of the bathroom they have 3.5 EPF gallon per flush, which is more than the double that you need. This gives us 30,000 gallons per year savings. And last one is the fire pump house. So on one of my walks, I found this leak outside, and it's wasting 200,000 gallons per month, or 350, 400,000 gallons per year of water waste, which is a lot. We do have to look deeper into this because they explain me that the fire farmhouse is supposed to have a leak, which I don't believe it. So we are looking into that with my supervisor. Yeah, it's just a lot of waterways. It's a safety hazard as well because it freezes during the winter. The truck leaf truck drivers sometimes it's a safety hazard, and also if they are wasting a lot of water, which they don't have to do. Then I have the PV energy savings. At Kalmar, we have 60 TVs around the facilities. Approximately 45 TVs are left on 24/7. We use these TVs to know which part of the process we are. So we have TVs everywhere. They are 24/7 on because they don't want to turn off. So I was looking into that. If we turn them off at the end of the shift, we can save $2,000 savings per year, which is not much, but still, 15 metric tons of CO2. So my recommendation was to install Chromecast to these TVs so we can set up in an app on their phone so they can turn off in a schedule and turn on again. We do have to look deeper into that because, as I mentioned, they have we show our process on these TVs. So I talked to the IE engineer. He told me that it's kind of tricky and he doesn't want to turn off, but I feel like we can turn it off without turn off their setup for their process. It's just $30 per device, which is nice. They will have the payback less than 1 year. So for last one, this is my last project, which is the biggest one, which is the returnable racks. So Kalmar right now is working on switching from pallets and cardboard boxes to returnable racks. They have been working in this project since 2020. And as you can see, here are the wooden pallets, some of the wooden pallets, the cardboard boxes, and we have the returnable racks next to each other. So they are made of metal. The boxes, I think, is made of plastic. So in that way, we cannot use anymore those wooden pallets because we are every time that we get the wooden pallets, we are giving it away to a company that takes care of disposal and everything. So we are not reusing the wooden pallets as well. So it's just way nicer because we don't have that waste anymore. It looks so much nicer as well. It helps a lot with the supply chain issues. So we just get or we send our racks, they get us back. It's a nice process. They are continue working on this. So I just wanted to compare between 2020 and 2022. Oh, it's gonna come back. Okay. So 2020, the total waste of products produced was 3,600. On 2022, it was almost the same, but we are producing way more trucks, way more terminal tractors, almost the double terminal tractors, which means we are reducing by a lot. Before per unit truck, our cost of waste was $138, and right now it's $76 because we are paying money for them to discard this waste first. It will help a lot Kalmar to be a zero waste facility, which is what we want. So the total change of GHG emission was 1,408, which is equal to almost 300 passenger vehicles and a lot of gasoline for sure. So if we can continue working on this project, which is what I helped Kalmar to figure out if it is worth it, because Kalmar has spent a lot, about $1.5 million on this project. And if they continue, they can lower to 3,000 GHG emissions. Something to look up still is for the waste because we still have waste with the returnable racks. As you can see, we have all the plastic protecting the parts. So I didn't have enough time to look into that, but I talked to Jacob and maybe we can build like a cover that we can reuse them again. Okay, so my last project was the compressed air leaks. I found 50 air leaks, 160 448 kilowatt hours per saving per year, and around $12,000 savings per year. Um, so I recommended Kalmar after this air leak audit to do a second air leak audit because sometimes they appear again after you found some and you repair some. And also I do recommend them to buy a leak detector so they can do an audit every 6 months. So these are some air leak detector. Of course, I recommend them to use the nicer one, which is the bottom right for you guys, which is the one that you don't even have to put like what's the headphone to find the air leaks. It uses a camera and it will tell you automatically where are the air leaks, how much you can save if you repair them, which is super nice. If you can have a payback in 1.5 years if you buy this one. So in summary, I found that we can save up to $200,000 per year and 3,390 metric tons of CO2. I just wanted to say thanks to Kalmar. They have helped me a lot to grow. It's such a nice company. I want to thank my supervisor. She's not here, but I think she's listening by Zoom. So thanks so much, Sarah, for supporting me a lot. Yeah, any questions or comments?
Well, the PowerPoint was awesome, by the way.
Thanks.
But so you're like reusable packaging or pallets essentially.
Yeah.
Do you guys make them yourself, or do you have other companies?
Yeah, we're working with another company. I think they tried to do it by themselves first, but it's such a big project. We do recommend working with another company. Actually, I forgot to mention. So Kalmar actually won a stewardship award this year for this project. which we will be getting next week, which is awesome. And yeah, we are working with PACAQ. Any other questions?
I was just, for assistance, was just sharing. For pallets and stuff, we've got, for the first 6 months of the year, I think we have like 90 tons of pallets that we dispose of.
Yeah.
So just doing some search and a little bit of research, we found like a burning unit that you can actually burn, and then, it's controlled so that it then can heat your air system and produce natural gas and all these other things. So there are those types of, I guess, that type of technology out there that would assist people.
Yeah, that's super nice. Yeah, I think Kalmar is mostly focusing on being zero waste. So.
Say that again, I didn't quite hear.
That Kalmar is working on being zero waste, so we are trying to don't have those pallets anymore. So. Any other questions?
Yeah, you mentioned that you found a lot of the TVs were on 24/7 and the lighting. I know you use maybe a data logger, but were you going around were you coming in at different times to observe this? Or?
Yeah. So at Kalmar, we start working at 6 a.m. So one day I came at 5 a.m. to look into the places that they were on. I did use the data logger to see other places. But yeah, I came one morning earlier to look into that. And also, yeah, on the TVs, you can even see like burnout TVs because they are 24/7 on.
And if we have, do we have enough time, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't want to ask questions or not, but could you go back to your chart, your overall chart? Yeah, that one. So is that first one is, okay, it is light energy. Okay, that's what I was double checking on. And then of all those projects, I'm assuming you probably had to use a couple of different greenhouse gas calculators, warm, maybe warm, and the EPA P2. Okay, and then what one was the which project was the most challenging, or which one did you like, to work with the best?
Yeah, for me the most challenging was actually switching to LEDs because I tried to talk to maintenance. I tried to get the receipts to know where we still have fluorescents, but we didn't have them. So I have to go place by place. I have to remove the ceiling sometimes by myself to see if we either have fluorescent or LEDs. So that one was the most challenging and took me quite some time. I really like the returnable racks. I feel like it's an amazing project. That's why they are winning a stewardship award, I guess. Yeah, it would help them a lot to reduce the greenhouse gas emission because I feel like that's one of the parts. Even right now, we are applying to a tax credit, and I found out that their biggest part of where they are making more CO2 emissions is on all the waste. So.
So you mentioned the water from the leaking from the fire house, I think you call it. So that was one that you just observed on your own and explored. Which of the projects were most of the projects ones that were identified for you, or were some of them ones that you had just decided to research on your own?
I feel like just the water one was the one that I found by myself. I didn't help them with the returnable racks because they didn't have like all the data. So I told them, hey, I can do that for you. But the water one was the one that I was observing, walking around, and was like, oh, we should change this.
What are they doing to the pallets, the wooden pallets that they still have? Do they send it to landfill?
Yeah, so we are working with another company that this company either repairs this pallet to be reused, or this company sends to another company to be burned out. But yeah, our returnable racks, we still have a lot of returnable racks that we have to implement. I think we implement less than 10%, so we still have a lot of wooden pallets.
And for the design of those returnable racks, so is this a process that is done, like, I don't know if you know that information, like what is all involved in designing those racks? Because I think they talk even about the ergonomics of the racks too.
Yeah, so since I'm working in EHS, so we are working a lot with ergonomic too. So they have to think about, because before, so the woolen pallets is not even a problem just for waste. So they come, they drop the pallets with all the cardboard and the plastic, and the employee have to take 2 minutes or more to unpack this part, and they are bending, which is an ergonomic problem. So with these racks, they are designed to be more easily for the employee to lift the parts and to put them on the workstation. They even reduce their working time, which is super nice because they reduce this unpacking time.
Just a compliment. I like the way you're yourself is part of the company. That was very nice.
Okay. Thanks so much, Lina.